listening?
Ricky J Sports.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, people? This is Ricky J from Ricky J Sports. Happy Halloween, I tell ya. I hope you guys all have a good Halloween, a safe one as well. We are playing here the GM mode in NHL 16, and I just want to let you guys know that I have either ruined the team or made it better. But you know how when you're stuck in the middle of a basement and you have nothing else to do but go up, if that's a good analogy? We are stuck in the basement with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I was going to say the Toronto Blue Jays. And we can only go up from here because the Leafs are paper bag bad. That's when back in the day, people were so embarrassed to go to Leaf games, they would put a paper bag over their heads. So what we did was we made a trade. Our first Blockbuster trade. We traded the good-looking, as all the ladies would say, Superman Joffrey Lupul to the Ducks for Stefan Noesen. And you're probably saying to yourself, Ricky, what were you doing? Were you half asleep when this happened? But no, Stefan Noesen's a 77 rating, and he has the elite high potential. And Joffrey Lupul is an 85 rating, and I know we kind of felt the pressure here by pulling the trigger on this deal, but I think Stefan Noesen, I don't even know how to say his name properly, is an up-and-comer, and in a couple seasons, he's only 22 years old. He's going to be ripping it up in the NHL. So that was the one deal I did, and I also went crazy. I spent half an hour negotiating with the Coyotes, Arizona Coyotes, to make a deal for one of my favorite guys in the NHL, and that's Max Domi. I loved watching his dad, Ty Domi, rip it up. I loved how every time he fought, he always used the left hand and circled the guy around like a merry-go-round. But I love Max Domi. I love his grit. If you know Don Cherry, he is a big fan. So I pulled the trigger on a crazy Blockbuster deal. What I did was I shipped out Roman Pollock, Dion Phaneuf, and I retained some of Phaneuf's salary, about $3 million. And I gave a couple of picks, some one first rounder and I believe a second rounder for Max Domi. They were willing to give up Shane Doan, who's Captain Canada, and Smith, a defenseman, in the lower end of the expectation pool. So what I did was I made the deal, and I was pretty happy with the deal. A lot of people don't like Dion Phaneuf, and Max Domi is a hero already in Canada. He was doing awesome. He did awesome in the juniors. So I got Domi. I got Shane Doan. I love Shane Doan. I did a lot of moves, if you're wondering. I stripped Panic of the captaincy, and I put Shane Doan as the captain because he didn't seem too happy when he came to Toronto. Who would seem happy? Let me just cancel. Sorry, I almost exited out. Who would be happy if you're coming to the Toronto Maple Leafs? But we're 16-13-2, and let me just show you our new updated roster. Our roster is revamped like a new condo, boys. We still got our core. We got Van Riemsdyk, Bozak, and I bumped up Doan. And I know this may be Doan's last season, but what I wanted to do is make a push to get Phaneuf out of there, but have enough leeway to get Domi in that trade. So Phaneuf is gonzo. Shane Doan is going to have a nice little swan song of a season here with Toronto. Hopefully he'll stay one more year. Parenteau is on the second line with Kadri and Matthias. But then this is the future line right here. You got Max Domi, only 20 years young, as a high potential top six forward. And then you got Holland and this kid, high elite, Stefan Noesen. He has a nose for the net, probably. I'm probably saying his name wrong. I keep on saying that. Then you got Spalling, Arcabello, Winnick, and then our defense took a little bit of a hit. But again, we're playing for the future. Riley's bumped up first line with Gardner. That's a good core. And then you got Robida, who's going to be on the go. He's going to be leaving. And then Morenson, who's a high 23-year-old future good player. And then you got Percy, who I got in the deal as a shoe-in, and same with Derek Smith. So these guys at the bottom end of our defense are not too good, but hopefully they can keep things rolling, and we've still got our core in net with Bernier and Reimer. So let's simulate. I want to simulate a full month here, and maybe at the end of the video I'll jump in for good old time's sake, but let's just see this. We're 31 games in, 16-13. And let's go on to January. And we're going to simulate all the way up until the Montreal game. Right before the Montreal game. So let's start simulating here. Simulate up into this day. Now it says amateur scout calling. I'm done with the scouting. We're going to edit the scouting. Locker room chemistry is going down. I'm going to continue doing what I was doing before and stay in that same zone looking for forwards. Because when draft day comes, we're going to be pretty accurate on our picks. Our morale's going up. Uh-oh, Parento for a 3rd round pick. We had Parento for a 2nd round pick. We want to decline that trade. So here we go. Spalling again for a 3rd round pick. Decline. We need him. We're going to have nobody playing. Look at that OT win against the Islanders. Another win. 2 wins in a row. There's still some players that you haven't met yet. Let's meet with these guys. Go to morale. I like the new up-and-coming Leafs. What do you guys think of the shakeup of the roster? Now, these 4 guys need to meet. So Hunwick, who's good in Hockey Ultimate Team, he says, thanks for great opportunity. This call up to the NHL feels great. Remember, we're going with what we always do, the 2nd pick. I'm glad you're excited. Usually it bumps them up. Yep, bumped them up. Let's go to Shane Doan. What's this guy going to say? It's an honor to be wearing the C for this organization. I'll make you proud. And we know he is a proven vet, and we're glad you are happy. You deserved it for a while. Let's see. It had no morale change. Again, picking the 2nd option either gives you morale or no change at all. Let's see here. He's not happy with losing his captaincy. I understand it's disappointing. You're on my radar if we make future changes. I don't think they'll change. It had no effect on him. I'll bring my A game. Taylor Beck, I'm happy you're back again. Glad to be in the lineup. Now, I'm afraid that the computer, like, you know how you have that assistant coach option, automatically change, but we're 3 wins in a row. What is going on here, folks? Let's decline that trade. Look at that, 4 wins in a row. Now look at Montreal. So Montreal came before looking for that deal, and they're giving us a little more. A lot of people want Spalling, but we're not going to give them up. We're at 4 wins in a row. I think I jinxed it. But we're doing great. I can't believe the turnaround here. Another loss there. There's still some players I want to meet. Okay. You always want to meet. I love Max Domi. There are times that I don't want to walk into the locker room. Oh, come on, Max. Don't be such a baby. You should be happy you're playing for your Papa's team. I hear a lot of feedback like yours. I'm contemplating some changes. Thanks for the... I'm happy with the group. Had no effect on them. Let me see if we can stop simulating here quickly. Because I don't understand why Max Domi wouldn't be happy when we gave him the penalty kill. I even put him on the 2nd power play. Now look at that. If you guys know what's going on with my assistant coach, man, how do you turn that off? Let's see if there's options here. No, because what they did was they put Domi as a scratch, and we want Domi to be in permanently. We want him to grow. It's okay if they lose, but we want him to grow, brother. And Komarov is back. We had Komarov riding the pine. See, and I think what happened was, you know that kid, Noensen, he's down in the minors. So let me just check this out. Let me know if you guys know how to take that assistant coach option. I'm going to look here on league settings. Here we go. Assistant coach edit lines. No. We don't want you messing up with the lines. You know. That wouldn't be good. Let's see what we got here. So Domi, Komarov is going to be scratched. I believe that young little kid there got sent to the AHL, and there he is. We want him bumped up to the NHL. Look at how Fratton at a 79 is in the AHL, but he's exact bottom. Okay. We need to go to roster moves. Here we go, folks. We want to get our lines just right here. Okay, in the system. So, Noensen. Call him up to the NHL. You've got your call. And we're going to send down. This is going to really ruffle some feathers here, folks. We're going to send down Beck. Now, I wonder if you can send him down or if you have to release him. He must clear waivers. Okay, we don't want to do that. Let's see here. I guess we'll have him clear waivers. The moves will result in your team being under. Okay. So I think you know what? You can send the guy up, but you don't have to send the other guy down. So that's good. Okay, I want to back to edit my lines. Okay, so this gap needs to be filled. And I guess Levo. Okay, good. I think we're good. Okay, we're gonna go best lines for the AHL. But then the NHL. the good old NHL. I'm pushing start, it's not working. Okay, there we go. Now we go to NHL, edit these lines. Okay, Domi's in, and then we gotta bring up that nice little prospect. Bring him up. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. That took a little bit there. But that's all good. Okay, back to the simulation. Okay, we're simulating these next two games. Let's check out the Boston game. Another win. Look at that. Continue to edit the scouting. Again, another month in forwards. The Toronto player Shane Doan has returned to the lineup. He'll now begin to count against your roster and salary cap. You are over the roster limit and will need to send a player to your AHL affiliate. Okay, go to roster moves. Now we want to send someone down. So he was injured. Doan only lasted like 4 or 5 games. I'm going to send down Hunwick. Or, you know what? I'm going to send Panic down. Yep. He has to clear waivers. Okay. Maybe Komarov. No. And continue. Alright, so before we continue, I couldn't figure out how to move a guy down from the NHL. Like, look, I'm going to every single guy and it won't let you go to confirm. If anybody knows, please let me know, because I'm trying to get that young stud, Noensen, in the NHL lineup. As you see him here, if I try to move him up, this move will result in your team being over the allowable player limit. Now, if I go to the NHL to send someone down, it won't let me. It's telling me these moves will result in your team being under the NHL salary cap. That's good. Isn't it good to be under the cap? So it's either been a long day for me or I just don't get it. Let's see if you can throw goalies down. You can't. It's giving me all sorts of messages. So we're going to just continue simulating up to that point. And then we'll do a quick recap before I end this video. So what I'm going to do is actually simulate in regular time, not this fast tracking business. And we've won 3 in a row. and it says player Rich Clune is available to play in the team's next game. Let's edit the lines manual here. Now that's okay. He's eligible to play, but I'm not going to put him in. We want a sim game. Yeah, that's fine. Let's sim this game. Here we go. So we're facing the mighty Montreal Canadiens. Original 6 action here, folks. Let's see how our little Leafs do here. Playing well after the Blockbuster trade. And look at that. Kadri scoring on Price. It's 1-0 for the good guys. Still looking good. The rule is, if it's a 1-goal game and we're losing in the last period with 10 minutes or so left, I'm going to jump in. So right now it's still 1-0. The Leafs playing hard, putting their nose to the grindstone. And Montreal's on the power play. Couldn't get anything done there. And 5 minutes left in the first period. And it's still 1-0 Toronto. I like our trades, man. At first I was a little bit unsure, but our team seems to be playing really well. So let's go and move on. Resume simulation to the second period. 2-0 Leafs. Look at that. Unbelievable stuff. Montreal apparently in the Vegas odds is favored to win the Stanley Cup, which will be the first time since 1993 that a Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup. And that team was, drumroll please, the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah. 1967 for the Leafs, if you're wondering. So we're out shooting them 26-14. 6 minutes left in the second period. It's all Leafs right now. The new and improved Leafs. Two minutes left, folks. Things are going good. We're going to fast forward the third period just to speed things up. So we're going to resume. 33 shots to 18. What is this, ball hockey? 3-0, Komarov. Why would you want to get rid of Komarov when he's putting points up there? Oh, the shutout. Galchenyuk breaks the shutout with 10 minutes left. The Leafs hanging on. Oh, Montreal on the power play. 4 minutes left. Oh, it's Montreal's period. Oh, but Riley. Go, and then there's another one. That's probably an empty netter, maybe. And what a thrashing. 5-1 Leafs. The new and improved Leafs. Doing great. Let's look at the 3 stars. Look at Max Domi. I love him. 1 goal and 2 assists. No hits. You got to get the body on there, kid. Get your body on others. And I just like how the young guys really took over in that game. And things are looking great. 26-18. We're doing better. Pretty much on par with Montreal. We're gaining morale. We're doing great. Let's check out the standings. Now, I like to look at just our division, and we're in 4th right now, sitting within striking distance of a playoff spot. Only 4 points out of first place. Who would have thought midway through the season that we are moving up in the division? We're not really supposed to be projected into making the playoffs. Playoffs! But since that trade, or those crazy trades, we're just popping wins left, right, and center. And things are looking great. I'm really proud of this episode. I just hope somebody could tell me how to move these guys from the NHL to waiver wire to the AHL. I want to bump up some of those young kids into the NHL to build up their progress. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. This is Ricky J from Ricky J Sports, and you are amazing.